Long ago, when the world was bright and full of stories, an evil wizard gained the power to touch the face of God. Narrativa, goddess of stories and weaver of our world, banished him to the void, but not before he stole a piece of her divine essence. With this newfound power, the wizard lay a dread curse upon all the world, the Glyph Purge, which struck from the minds of all mortals the knowledge of how to read and write. Now, all that stand between the Isle of Meotia and an age of endless ignorance are the bards, who tell stories of distant lands, exotic creatures, and brave heroes. This is one such tale.
Hello and welcome to Challenge Rating 0, the latest and greatest Dungeons & Dragons podcast to hit the internet airwaves. I am Sam, your Dungeon Master, joined as always by my longtime friends and adventuring companions.
Hello, I am Brian, and I play Hector the Gatekeeper.
Hi, I'm Beth, and I play Rilla Longshadow, and I'm getting over a cold, so apologies if I sound weird.
Hey, it's Alex, and tonight I will be playing Ruger Firehide.
And last but not least, we have the man who calls himself Michael, but who we call Parker, Michael Parker, playing King of the Shocker Lizards, Champion of the Goats, Emperor of the Rats, and the Lord in Exile of the Ashen Isles, the Druid Zurabak. Say hi, Parker.
You can drop that last part.
I mean, canonically, I can't. You can, in fiction. No
one exiles Zurabak.
No one exiles Zurabak because Zurabak doesn't want to be anywhere.
Deep.
So we return once more for a tale of epic fantasy. Welcome back, dear listeners. Hopefully by the time you hear this, we're back to something of a return to form with our release schedule. We've had some technical difficulties. Last episode was a real hoot and a half with me and Beth recording in the same place right next to each other. And now today, this very day, I am recording in a spiffy studio provided by Audius Prime, the incredibly talented Matt Sims, who taught me how to make this show. So, I'm gonna be in a much better mood today than I was last time.
That's insulting, Samuel. How dare you? I offered my home
Beth,
up to you.
Beth, your presence is always a delight, but I spent 20 minutes unsuccessfully setting up the wrong gear at your place and then spilled water on literally everything. So it was just a bad energy to start the show.
I maintain it was a delight.
Yes, certain aspects were great. All that being said, we're gonna try to soldier on as normal. Actually, real quick, Beth, you sent us a picture of the Gargoyles board game.
Yes, I did.
Where was that being sold at?
That was a Target, and I almost bought it, but I fought the urge, and I don't know if I should have.
Are you talking about the board game that was being advertised all over the place and sold at Gen Con?
Correct, but now it's out in the wild, Brian.
The new one? I have the old one in a box over there.
Yeah,
but we have to have a VHS to play it.
I've got one of those.
Holy shit, it has a VHS component to it.
Well, that's the one we have to play.
Yep.
I have a VCR at my house. Holy shit. Gargoyles, the evergreen animated property about medieval winged lizards that turn to stone during the day, has released a new board game called, what is it, Gargoyles Awakening?
And we are not sponsored by said board game.
We're not.
We never will be.
Being paid to talk about this, but I'm trying to develop something of a tradition here. And Gargoyles Awakening. We really got to get this fucking game, y'all, huh? Oh, look at those minis. Sorry, I'm just looking at pictures of the shit online now, and there's like really dope minis of Goliath and all his good friends.
I walked by some Gen Zers who were looking at it at Target and were like, yeah, I think I remember watching this as a kid. I'm like, no, you don't. You're a child. There's no way. You're not cool. Fuck you. I'm 34. I remember watching this. Like, come on now.
Do you, Beth?
I do. I just don't remember any of the plot. That's like most children's shows I watched.
Beth, I can't tell you how much it warms my heart. The mental image of you in the middle of a Target gatekeeping Disney cartoons from the 90s.
In my head.
That's just the best shit I've ever seen.
While pushing my toddler around in a cart. Yes.
Fucking kids today don't know fuck all about gargoyles. In my day, we knew about Bronx and Brooklyn and Hudson and Broadway and Goliath and Lexington. Did I get all of them?
I don't know.
Anyway, this is an unofficial Gargoyles fan cast, and I
No,
just couldn't
you
let the
didn't.
opportunity to mention Gargoyles Awakening pass us by.
I will
didn't
say,
get
if we
all of
bought
them.
this board
Bye.
game, like, those are some pretty good minis, honestly. We could reuse them.
Yeah, man. It's a 3-dimensional board, too. It looks really awesome. Hey, everyone, buy Gargoyles Awakening. They are not sponsoring us. I cannot clarify that enough. We are not brought to you by Disney+. We're not brought to you by Gargoyles. We have...
They should sponsor us, though.
They should. We talk about them a lot, and they should. Hey, everyone, get on Twitter and just hit up Disney and tell them to give us money to talk about gargoyles.
And that's how we got shut down.
Yeah.
I'm not saying to be aggressive, but definitely be problematic, I think that's the right tone.
Try for aggressively problematic.
Aggressively problematic. If you can be passively aggressive, can you be passively problematic? That's kind of the tone I'm hoping
Aggressively
for.
problematic has to be our third podcast after our second one, which is Gargoyles. Yes?
Yeah, it'll be a show with like a million downloads a month, and all we do is talk about how no one will let us get our voices out, because that's the way to sort of podcast stardom. Hey, now we're doing social commentary. Let's get on with our show that we make.
Which one?
The the D&D one. The D&D one. Shit. When last we left our heroes, Hector, Rilla, Zurabak, and the lawman Ruger Firehide found themselves on the island of Garu, one of the Ashen Isles, a small string of volcanic islands off the mainland of Miosha. They had been sent there by the College of Everspring to gain ownership of a magical artifact needed to fix the tapestry and break the ancient curse laid by the stricken 1,000 years ago. Once they arrived at these volcanic islands, they made contact with Pretty Polly and his first mate, Mrs. Fisher, who informed them that not but days ago, the queen of the Ashen Isles, Letitia Skullsplitter, had, using the Knights of the Pyre, a band of blackguards dedicated to destroying the written word wherever they find it, had ousted the normal inhabitants of the Isle of Garu and driven them from their homelands. Our heroes talked a bit with Pretty Polly, got the lay of the land, and decided to make their way to the Isle of Garu after wrangling, taming, and riding an enormous megalodon across the choppy and ash-strewn waters to the Isle of Garu. Our heroes made landfall and headed through the ash-shrouded jungles into the interior to Castle Skullsplitter that lay flush against the towering and boiling volcano that dominates this island. The last thing that happened was that our heroes, as they traveled through the dense jungle, came across a pair of Knights of the Pyre bestride an enormous terror lizard, a Triceratops, its 3 great horns towering over them. Now, Ruger, you were in the lead doing a little scouting. You rolled pretty high on your hide check, so it seems as though these Knights of the Pyre have not spotted you yet. You have also been placed, due to Zurabak's druidic magics, under the effects of a Pass Without Trace spell and a Hide from Animals spell. So for the moment, no animals can see you. You and your companions leave no traces and cannot be tracked. You have stumbled upon these Knights of the Pyre in their shining breastplates stamped with the sigil of the Burning Tower, holding their long swords aloft, wreathed in writhing flame that gives off light like torches here in the shadowy jungle. They have not seen you yet. What would you like to do?
So I see my mortal enemies astride this giant, terrifying lizard. And this lizard is like, it's dripping void stuff, right?
Yes, this Triceratops, this dinosaur, its eyes are jet black, and there is a horrid, viscous, inky blackness oozing out of its beak of a mouth. These are signs that you have come to recognize as symptoms of someone whose soul has been given to a void spike. The last time you saw something like this was back in the necropolis, where you saw Varric's Hand of the Void sacrificing cultists to the void spike, ripping their souls from their body.
Okay. So I definitely am not going to forego my position. Do I see the rest of my companions? Can they see me?
Your companions are about 30 feet behind you, and yeah, you guys can see each other. The light from Hector's light spell is being blocked by a particularly tall tree that they are all peering around at the moment, so as not to give away their location.
And they too have identified the Triceratops, right?
I'm going to say that you can see it right now. Your companions can't. It's like just through some bushes, you can see these fuckers coming on.
Okay, so then I guess if possible as a free action, I would like to try and silently signal to them, warning them of the danger. Hand signal or something to try and point to the giant Triceratops with the knights riding on the back of it.
No, for sure. This is actually fun because there is specifically a skill in 3.5 for this kind of thing, which is sense motive. So this is great. So Ruger is going to try to use hand signals to warn you all that there is a threat up ahead. Ruger, Rilla, Zurabek, Rilla, and Hector, I want you guys to roll sense motive checks for me to see if you can pick up what he's putting down.
Oh, damn. I rolled a 21.
Jesus Christ.
13.
Rolled a 19 on the dice.
All right. What'd you get, Rilla?
I got a 13.
Okay. It's less good. Yeah, Hector, you are able to pick up precisely what he's putting down. Ruger flashes a couple of hand signs to you, and you get the gist. There's 3 enemies. One of them is enormous, and they're just up ahead.
I quietly convey this to my companions.
All right, everyone's been made aware of the threat. This lumbering Triceratops is crashing through the brush, still headed in your general direction. What would you all like to do?
I would like to do something that I do believe is a first for Mr. Ruger Firehide. I would like to cast a spell. Specifically...
Oh, damn!
Yes, believe it or not, this Ranger Paladin does have a spell or two tucked up his sleeve. And in this instance, I'm going to cast Resist Energy Fire.
Ooh. That sounds like a great choice. Yeah, Ruger, just out of curiosity, this would be a ranger spell, right?
Correct, yes. It is a first level ranger spell.
So pulling on the divine power of the wilderness and your endless hours spent in the wild, you channel magical energy into yourself and cast this spell, which makes you resistant to heat. What does it look like when this spell takes hold? Is there like a physical manifestation of it at all?
Yeah, so in my mind's eye, since it is resistant in this instance to fire, I like to believe that for a moment I am like wreathed in a flash of like white fire, just sort of like lining my person before it fades, just blanketing me in the protection.
Very cool. You cast a spell on yourself, giving you some cover from any potential fire damage going forward. The rest of you 3, you doing anything?
What's the weather like in this forest?
That's a really interesting question. There's a giant storm, an ash storm. So you are under the thick canopy of a lush jungle. The very tall trees, some 80 feet tall all around you. With a canopy almost completely blocking the sky. In the few openings you can see, all you see are swirling ash coming down. There are high winds, there's thunder and lightning, no rain.
There are high winds down in the trees or above us?
there are high winds above you. They are filtering a little bit down through the trees, but not much.
Okay, cool. I cast Obscuring Mist because it's 20 foot radius, 20 feet high. And it spreads, and I toss that, I don't know, like 10 feet in front of me. And that should give us some concealment and spread pretty quickly, as long as it's not too windy. So I do that, and I try to hide. That's what I do.
Bitchin'. So as Ruger girds himself against potential fire damage, Rilla casts Obscuring Mists, and a thick, roiling cloud of fog moves out and blankets the area around all of you, blocking vision. Go ahead and roll a hide check, Rilla.
I did. I got a 20. So if you are, 5 feet away, there's a 20% miss chance. Further than that, it's total concealment. A moderate wind gets rid of it, which is why I was checking over like 4 rounds. So
this is not with all this tree cover, you're chilling.
Cool.
There is not a moderate wind blowing. Dope. Hector, you want to do anything? There's a bunch of mist around you now, to give you cover. You want to do anything?
Yeah, I'm just gonna set my light axe down behind the tree where it's still being blocked from, upcoming line of sight. And then I'd like to draw my ridiculously oversized maul and just stick low and be ready to swing at a thing.
Okay, are you readying an action to hit the first enemy you see in this swirling fog?
Can I hide and ready, or is that going to be a one or the other kind of a situation?
I would say that considering where you are, you're kind of already hiding. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a hide check, and we can say that you'll pop out whenever you see a bad guy.
12. That's not bad for me.
Zurabak, your friends are readying weapons and summoning fogs and girding themselves against fire. You and your enormous fucking snake have anything you guys want to do before these bad guys are on you?
No.
All right, so you guys chill, and this beast and its riders continue forward. They're on a beeline, kind of directly towards you guys, and they pass very, very close to Ruger. This gigantic Triceratops cannot detect you, and you've left no tracks, so that gives you some bonuses. But the 2 knights riding on its back are waving their swords around, using them as torches to light their way, and they are scanning on either side. Are you trying to hide from these fools, Mr. Firehide?
At least until they pass me, yes.
Okay. All right, roll me a hide check real quick. Let's see if they spot you.
Well, you're not going to believe this, but that is a critical 20 on the dice for a total of 29.
Damn.
Nice.
One of these fuckers rolled a 19. I thought I had you. So yeah, these poor, dumb fucks wielding these burning long swords on the back of a fucking dinosaur walk right past you, Ruger. The bulk of this creature, its lungs sound like bellows in a forge, the breath rattling inside of it. Its every footfall rumbles the ground a little bit, and just the bulk of it, like its pebbly skin, almost scrapes against you as you hold yourself stock still as it travels right next to you. You could almost reach out and touch the boots of these Knights of the Pyre, and they do not fucking see you. And just after they walk past you, they walk into the wall of fog that has appeared behind you, completely engulfed in this fog. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to roll initiative just to kind of see what might happen next. Because this is a fairly complex combat scenario. And so everyone roll initiative and we'll see what the fuck's going down. Rilla, what'd you get?
20.
20. Damn, Rilla. Zurabak, what'd you get?
20, but I assume her dexterity is higher than mine because mine's 0.
3.
I would assume.
Yeah, 3
so.
for me.
What did Snake get?
I'm pulling up Snake's stats right now, but it's like a 17, I think.
Hector, what'd you get?
You're not going to believe this, but I actually got, let's see, I rolled a 1 on the dice, and my initiative's a +1, so 2.
Fantastic. That might be the worst you've ever rolled on initiative over this entire show.
It's the,
Nicely
it's the
done.
worst I can
Snake-
roll, so yeah.
Snake got an 18.
Snake got an 18, okay. And Mr. Firehide?
15.
Pretty good. And the bad guys got this number.
Pretty good. I know about that.
You don't know that. All right. So, Rilla, you are the first to react. These goons have entered the fog cloud that you have established. This thing is like 20 feet. So it's got a 20-foot radius, right? So it's 40 feet across. Is that my understanding? Your fog cloud?
Let's see. I thought you were talking about the Triceratops, and I'm like, how would I know?
That'd be buck wild for me to do.
It says cloud spreads in 20-foot radius from you, 20 feet high.
Okay. So, yeah, it's 40 feet across completely. All right. So, yeah, these motherfuckers enter this, like, bank of fog, and kind of disappear from Ruger's sight, and you can't really see them either, but you can... why don't you roll me a listen check, real quick. That's the great thing about Obscuring Mist, is that no one can fucking see anything, and that's why it's my favorite.
I got a 15 on a listen check.
Okay, yeah, this thing is not hard to hear. It's the size of a small cottage. So, yeah, you can hear this massive dinosaur, this enormous thunder lizard, smashing its way through the underbrush, coming, what it sounds like, directly towards you and your companions. It's not charging, but you can hear the riders on its back saying, like, "This fog is troublesome. Is there a vent around here somewhere? We've never come across this before." The other one says, "Silence, brother. We must continue our patrol. Keep your eyes out. An ambush could be coming anywhere." It sounds like they're not, like 15 feet from you at this point. It is your turn. Do you want to do anything?
I want to skirt around the cloud, or the fog, and head towards Ruger. Because they came from Ruger's direction, right? So, like...
Yes.
I'm just trying to get out of their way, and I want to do that as quietly as I can. So I guess
roll move silently.
Yeah.
Roll move silently to see if you can sneak around without being detected.
That's a 23.
Damn! What'd you get, a level of rogue somewhere?
I did.
Yeah, none of these pieces of shit hear you. You slink around this gigantic lizard, and quiet as the shadow of your namesake, you stalk across this jungle. And yeah, you quickly reach the last place you saw Ruger, and yeah, you like come up right behind him.
Ah! No, I'm just kidding.
That makes it Zurabak's turn. Zurabak, you're in some fog. You can roll me a listen check real quick, you keen-eared scout, you.
27.
Okay. There are two men on a dinosaur in heavy metal armor wielding long swords exactly 20 feet away from where you're standing. You know precisely what position they are in, your keen ears picking out their exact location as they thunder through the jungle. You also hear, just for shits and giggles, Rilla skirt around them and tap Ruger on the shoulder, and you hear Ruger go, "Ah!"
That is not canon. How dare you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Who am I to determine what is and is not canon? You're all dead. You're all alive again. That's part of the story. Mark it, fans. Let's get some fan art going for that instant everyone died. Anyway. Yeah, what do you want to do with that information, Zurabak? You can't see these fuckers, but you know exactly where they are and where all your companions are.
What's the ground look like?
The ground is rocky soil with a pretty dense amount of underbrush, some ferns, some vines, some old dead wood mixed with, sort of obsidian streaked
And ash.
soil. And ash. There's ash fucking everywhere.
How tall is the Triceratops?
It's about 10 feet tall.
That's right.
Get on Google and verify. Yep, exactly 10 feet. That's what Encyclopedia Britannica says. Exactly 10 feet tall.
Zerbeck just sort of calmly walks around them.
Okay. Roll me a move silently, please.
No.
This is the second stealthing y'all have done, and I'm very impressed. You guys gained 2 levels and a bunch of shit, and you're just like, fuck all these fights. What is... what is combat? I don't know.
We're on a stealth mission to save the world. We can't get distracted
Sure.
by cool dinosaurs, okay?
No, look, if y'all want to go Spec Ops, that's fine. I figured I'd get to trample you with the Triceratops, but we don't always get what we want, so this is good.
Snake
I
hasn't
rolled
gone
a
yet.
19 plus my dexterity, so that comes out to 19.
All right. No one fucking hears you. You slip around these goons flawlessly, not breaking a
I
single
just walked
branch.
through the Triceratops legs.
Christ. You slip right past them. That is Zerbeck's turn. It's Snake's turn. Is Snake gonna follow suit?
He actually has ranks and moves silently.
Little sneaky snake.
Yeah, and hide, and all those skills that make him super snaky.
Snaky.
He also has
He's-
weapon focus bite
That sounds useful.
No.
and run
Don't bite him.
and improved initiative.
So Parker, does he move?
Did you roll a number?
Yeah,
Okay, what was that number, buddy?
it was 20. Let me go back to his stats. 24.
Okay, you guys are rolling very high, and they are rolling absolute dog shit. These guys may as well be actually deaf. Snake slithers right after you, just calmly and competently evading this creature with absolutely no problem.
And then Hector rocks this Triceratops with his ready action. He just...
So just to set the scene, Rilla and Zerabak and Snake and Ruger are all now behind this Triceratops and its 2 Knights of the Pyre riders as it lumbers its way through the jungle. The only person still in front of it is Hector. Ruger, it is back to your turn in the initiative. So you are warded against flames. Snake and Zerabak and Rilla are now with you just out of this mist. And you can hear this Triceratops lumbering through the fog. Hector has not joined you yet. Do you want to do anything? What do you do?
So I can now see my friends on this side of the fog, right? I can see Rilla for sure.
Yeah.
I can also see Zerbeck.
Yeah, you have all reconnoitered in the open space outside of this fog cloud made by Rilla behind your assailants, except for Hector.
Well, I quietly asked them, where is Hector?
Zerback shrugs.
So does Rilla.
At the same time, exactly in sync.
I then turn and look at Snake.
Snake looks at you blankly, sticks its tongue out.
Okay. Classic. I am gonna play it cool here. I'm gonna play level-headed. I am just gonna wait. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna hold up shop and wait and see what happens.
Alrighty. It is now the bad guy's turn, because Hector rolled absolute dog shit. And the bad guys are going to keep making their way forward. These Knights of the Pyre, shrouded in mist, bestride their Triceratops, keep lumbering on forward through this fog. Hector, you hear the smashing and crackling and thudding of these enormous legs lumbering through the underbrush directly towards you. And these knights are going to keep searching to try to find where you're at, and they can't find fuck all. Let's see if they just fucking step on you. High or low, Brian? I'm gonna leave this to chance.
I'm from the mountains, so high.
Okay.
No, Brian's from the Riverlands, which are very low. Hector's from the mountains.
Hector, you are met with, as you lie in wait, poised to strike, the sight of an enormous three-horned beaked lizard with an enormous bone plate on the back of its head coming directly at you out of the mist. You have been poised to strike, and this void beast is the first thing you see. This thing's coming right at you, Hector. It's the first thing you see coming out of this fog are these gigantic fucking horns, this beak of a mouth dripping inky void stuff. Do you swing, or what do you do? Your ready to action was to swing at the first thing. Are you doing that, or no?
No.
Okay. Then I'm going to need you to roll me, let's call it a reflex save, to dive out of the way of this creature so you don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Yeah.
Because if you touch animals while you're under the effect of a hide from animal spell, it will see you.
Well, it is still in the fog. That should help.
I mean, it should.
Oh, I rolled a
Cute.
critical 20.
You got another 20?
This is my
Jesus.
first
No,
20.
that was me who got the critical
Christ.
20.
You're all the same to me. I don't give a shit.
The last
You're
time
all
I rolled
one-
this dice, I rolled a 1 on it.
I also
God.
rolled a natural 20 on initiative.
Yeah, you're all one player to me with fucking 4 heads. I don't give a shit. Awesome. Yeah, Hector, you see 2 giant horns lance out of the fog directly at you, and the enormous head of this Triceratops swinging up directly at you. While you are hunched on the ground wielding your enormous maul, you pivot half to swing, and you stop yourself at the last possible second, do some quick mental math, and instead, follow the momentum and just throw yourself down to the fucking ground and roll out of the way, and this enormous Triceratops just lumbers past you without touching you. As you hit the fucking deck and roll out of the way, one of the knights says, "Did you hear something, brother?" The other one says, "I can't see anything in this fog. Let's just keep going. There are beasts still to tame in this jungle." And they lumber onwards. Hector, it is now your turn. Your actual turn in the initiative. You just succeeded on that reflex save to not get trampled by a fucking Triceratops. What would you like to do? These guys have walked I'd say 10 feet past you at this point. So they're behind you. Your friends on the other side of the fog, away from them. What would you like to do?
Nothing. Remain as still as possible.
Fantastic.
Big brain energy right there.
Cool. Well, then we're just going to call it there. And this patrol continues on their merry fucking way.
I'm so proud of us.
Striding along their gigantic Triceratops and leaving you all right in the fucking dust. Nicely done.
If they were lower to the ground, Zerback would have stabbed one.
For sure. For sure.
Oh no, I deeply contemplated stabbing one, but I am enjoying our continued stealth mission. So far, nobody knows we're fucking here, which is great.
You guys haven't had a fight since you killed a Medusa. So this is a nice... This is an interesting new tack where you guys got 2 levels and it's just all stealth from here on, baby.
I'm a rogue now.
Are we going to splinter cell the rest of the campaign? You'll have to listen to find out. There's no monologues in the throne room. There's just arrows from a windowsill, and we slip out into the darkness. Anyway.
I like it.
There could be monologues. We just have to hide in the vents and hear them.
Yeah. Or Zurabak
Yeah,
will
they're just
monologue
practicing
after
the
we
monologues in the mirror.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
I mean, if
Oh,
it wasn't
God.
for the fog, I would have been found. I have a +1 to both hide and move silently, and that's it.
I mean, you could see Hector's hammer from space, so it's almost impossible. So,
Brian, those numbers are higher than Zurabak's. He just rolled well.
yeah. Well, yeah, good fucking job, everybody. This particular patrol has left you behind. They stalked through the mist, the obscuring fog, and yeah, you were not spotted. The ash-covered jungle stretches out before you, deep as ever, and you can just barely see through the thick canopy the very top of the volcano resting at the heart of this island. Do you continue on your merry way?
Yep.
Yes.
Once they move on far enough for my satisfaction, I retrieve my glowing axe.
It's glowing very good and awesome and cool. So you all continue on your way inland towards the gigantic mountain whose top has been sheared off and is belching lava and pitch black columns of smoke into the heavens. I'm going to need y'all to roll me some survival checks to traverse this fairly alien landscape. There are grasping vines, there are precipitous drop-offs, and this craggy volcanic island. You find a couple of
29.
volcanic vents boiling. Oh, shit. Boiling sulfuric gas.
24.
Damn!
17.
I got an 8.
Okay, Rilla, you're a city kid now. Fuck this, right?
This
You went to
forest
college?
is weird. I don't like it. Smells wrong.
Yeah, everything stinks like rotten eggs because there's just sulfur bubbling up from vents in the floor of this jungle. It sucks shit. But yeah, with those ridiculous numbers, Zurabak, Hector, and Ruger, you're able to navigate this island incredibly efficiently and avoid all of the natural hazards that a dungeon master might want to put in your way to make this in any way challenging for you all. You navigate this island incredibly proficiently, rolling over this landscape and carving through this jungle without leaving any trace behind that could be tracked. You do stumble across a few more interesting animals. You find a parrot that is the size of a horse, winging through underneath the canopy, its enormous beak clutching like a squirrel in it as it flaps past you, completely unaware of your presence. This enormous ape comes like swinging down from the trees and tumbles past you, completely ignoring you as well. I'm sorry, Alex, did you have something?
So at the sight of one of these infected animals, Ruger kind of turns towards his companions and asks, do y'all think if we destroy this spike that these animals will be restored?
No.
No.
Well, damn. I was trying to be hopeful, optimistic.
They might die, though.
Zurabak shakes his bag and pokes the head out.
I was just going to say, you hear a from your bag. Yeah, so you crack your bag open a little bit, and Anthony Geist, the stricken, pops his head out of your burlap sack and goes, thank you. I appreciate the fresh air. I couldn't help but hear you discussing the potential ramifications of void spike exposure. What was your question, Mr. Firehide?
I spit on the ground to the side, one of those big ass, like good old boy spits. And then I...
Thanks to the Pass Without Trace spell, it immediately vanishes,
Fantastic.
leaving no...
What a flex. What a flex. And then I turn to the Stricken and I say, so if we were to destroy this void spark, what would happen to everyone and everything that's been infected by it?
That is an interesting question, and something I've been thinking about myself ever since I heard your tales of the necropolis. The void spike you came across there was being fed the souls of worshippers. You slew all those you found, yes? All of the cultists who gave their souls to the spike, they tried to kill you and you struck them down. Is that my understanding?
Zerback shrugs.
To the best of my recollection, I don't recall exterminating everyone, but I do also recall a massive explosion as I was fleeing the city, so...
The reason I ask is that if all of the cultists who were tainted, like these beasts are, if all of them were slain before you dropped an entire building on the void spike, there's no way to know what impact it would have if you left its victims alive before you destroyed it. There is a chance that if this conduit to the void is dealt with, that these creatures might be made whole again. These spikes came into the world after my reign had ended. I am not entirely sure how they work myself, but either way, it might be best to destroy it and see what comes of it this time. I would note one other thing. The animals we see freely traveling through this jungle do not seem to bear the taint like the ones these knights are using as mounts. It would seem that only some of these beasts are being sacrificed. The biggest, the most powerful. I could only imagine a contingent of Knights of the Pyre on the mainland bestride creatures this terrible.
Ooh, I spit on the ground again.
If there is anything else, and he looks up at Zerabak, you know where to find me. And then to your surprise, he puts himself back in the burlap sack.
Wow. What a guy.
Yeah, you got Satan in a bag.
So
And
just
he's-
like a regular Magic 8 Ball.
He's he's kind of your boss a little bit.
Yeah, I
which
don't
is
know
fun.
if
Yeah.
Well,
Is he?
you're still
The-
doing it. So
The only boss Zerback has is Zerback.
It just so happens that Zorobak's desires coincide with this. It's fine. You know.
it's just what's happening around him. That's all. Anyway, so you all continue on your merry way, and after about an hour of traveling across this island, you come to a break in the tree line. The ground becomes even rockier, even more craggy. The jungle thins out considerably, and you find through a break in the trees a broad, flat ramp, nearly half a mile long, splitting the stone of this island as it travels up from the jungles to an intimidating palace carved from volcanic rock laying against the side of the volcano that now towers so tall you have to look straight up to see its ultimate peak. Skullsplitter Palace stands before you, an obsidian fortress gleaming black even in the wan sunlight that can pass through with these churning storm clouds above you. Every flash of lightning from the column of smoke roiling over the volcano reflects dimly off of its every contour and angle. It is shaped like a gigantic humanoid skull, split in half. And in the middle, in this giant cleft that is carved in the stone skull facade of this fortress, a nasty, sulfurous cloud of yellow smoke is boiling up from some deep, deep vent in the core of the volcano. Each of the eye sockets is a window, and the mouth is split into two large gates, and there is a tall stone wall carved of obsidian ringing the outside of it, with a courtyard between the wall and the skull. The main thing you see, though, which you almost can't pick out against the jet black walls of Skullsplitter Palace, is a 50-foot tall spike of pure roiling blackness, darker than the night, darker than the stone around it. The Void Spike.
Guys, I found the void spike.
It towers over the courtyard between the doors of Skullsplitter Palace and the large wall defending it. And around it, you see a stream of enormous animals. There are dinosaurs as tall as houses. You see another one of these rocks, these enormous fucking birds with little palisades built on the back of them. There's a line of about 10 enormous animals, apes and jungle cats, all incredibly huge in scale, that are lined up with chains around them, being led through a gate in the outer wall of this fortress to the courtyard to have their souls sacrificed to this void spike. There are no less than 50 Knights of the Pyre scattered about the courtyard, the outer wall on patrol, and the giant ramp leading up to this palace, stalking around with their flaming long swords. Some of them joined in pairs or triplets with smaller figures without armor in flowing robes that have fire literally roiling off of their skin as they patrol around. These would be effigies, the commanders of these little battalions. There are about 10 of those walking around as well. So there's quite a force out here. You all remember the little simple map that Pretty Polly sketched out for you. There is apparently a vent on the outside of this palace that leads in to the personal sauna of Queen Letitia that will allow you to sneak in. But it looks like, according to the map, you're going to have to get up that ramp, over the wall, across the courtyard, and up to the side of the actual fortress. So, with all that said, what do you do?
I look at the Skull Castle. I look at Zerback. I look at the Skull Castle. I look at Zerback. I look at the Skull Castle, and I look at Zerback, and I say, did I ever tell you I like your skull paint?
Zerback looks back at him and squints.
That's all. That's all I needed. I leave. I'm satisfied.
So the weird thing is, I could get in here no problem now, because I've got like invisibility and spider climb. So like, I mean, unless I really failed some move silently, the concern mostly seems to be Hector. Yeah. Like, how are we gonna get Hector anywhere?
Yeah.
Like, no offense meant, but
Well, let's.
Zuraback's loud moving too.
Very true.
Shut up.
All right, so we've got to get this mold too, right? We've got to get this dagger.
I think we need to get that first. I think that's the reason we're here, and we should knock that out so that if we end up having to do some dumb shit, we've already completed the mission.
So we need to get that for sure. That's priority number one.
Yes.
Right.
Shush, DM. Players talking here. So, number one, get the dagger. Number two, we definitely need to do something about that spike.
Blow up the volcano.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Right. So, blow up the volcano and bring down that spike. Now, the whole thing with Letitia. Do we have any Zurabak? Do you have any interest in confronting this woman? Or are we hoping to just wrap her up into that melt the whole castle would go approach?
I see no problems with the rule. She seems to be doing fine.
Yep.
I shake my head at Hector because come on, man. Okay, then I'm gonna do something dumb. Just for Ruger. I'm gonna square my stance and look at this castle full of Knights of the Pyre and Void Beasts and a giant Void Spike and the Evil Queen and all that stuff. And I'm going to detect evil. Just to feel what I feel in my heart of hearts.
As I stated, you guys are looking at this from about a half mile away. So there's nothing really close. And what's the range on detect evil?
I don't know.
60 feet cone.
60 feet. Yeah, there's you cast detect evil, and as always, you definitely pick up Zurabak.
Well, yeah.
Or should I say the King in Exile, Algernon Skullsplitter, which is his actual name. You pick up Zurabak, evil as fuck. You do pick up at like the very edge of your detection an evil aura, and as you concentrate on it, you're very glad you did because you pick up 3 Knights of the Pyre. You see 2 warriors with breastplates and long swords, and one of these smaller figures in flowing robes that are literally wreathed in fire. On patrol, surprisingly close to your position, about 60 feet away. They seem to be coming down this broad ramp, this sort of main avenue, heading up to the castle, into the jungle. They're entering about, sort of in a diagonal, not coming directly at you. But yeah, they are evil as fuck. There are 3 evil beings. Looks like the dudes in the breastplates are elves, and there is a human woman in the flowing orange and red and yellow gown who is wreathed in this magical fire. And they are, coming down the ramp towards the jungle. That is what you pick up.
Okay, so one quick question.
Yes.
How long has it been since we evaded the Triceratops?
About an hour.
About an hour?
Yeah, an hour. Exactly, precisely, specifically 1 hour.
Okay, so then I am still resistant to fire energy. I would like to point
Fantastic.
So then I quietly, whisper to my companions, 3 Knights of the Pyre coming, 2 elves and a human. We hiding?
Where are we still in the forest? Are we on this path?
You are at the edge of the jungle, to the side of this broad pathway, and these folks are coming down this broad ramp into the jungle.
So we could step into the jungle, or I could just make us all invisible, and we could just go. Do we want to just go? Or is Hector still a concern? What do you want to do here? Because we've got talking's a free action, but let me know.
To a point.
What if,
Right.
a classic scenario in
Oh no.
many stories that I have read involved the slaying of guards and the taking of their garments.
Yeah,
What
except
if?
they've got a leader with them, and I don't want to fuck with them. Right?
Well, if you're asking me, I kind of want to drive my knife into her throat, but that's just my personal feelings on the matter. Not that those have much weight in this group. Okay. I'm all for stealth. My question is, how do we actually accomplish that from a sound perspective? We can do invisibility. I'm not even certain that these motherfuckers won't be able to see us anyways, because there are ways to overcome that. And we've used invisibility before. So, that being said.
My point here is, as previously stated, yes, I am not the stealthiest. So moving around in a way where we are attempting to not ever be seen or heard by anybody is going to fail eventually.
And we should not, under any circumstance, split the party. I know it's possible that some of us can stealth, but we should not split the party.
If you all appear to be dying, I might leave.
Well, that's of little doubt.
Just to be honest.
So Hector's proposed a plan here. Are we saying that we try and ambush these three people and then what? Three of us assume their get-ups? I know that Rilla can pull that off. That
Wookiee prisoner routine.
I know. That's where I thought he was going with it, but I was just like, I
mean, I've got disguise kits. Theoretically, I could try and do y'all up, but
That's always a fun gag.
That is not a skill set for Ruger, so Ruger is not going to be disguising anybody, even a little bit, unless you can do that for him.
No, but that's...
Yeah, I mean, that's what Rilla's for. Rilla's got a disguise kit and can apply that to other people, I think.
I'm pretty sure you can. We've done that in other games.
Yeah.
So unless we've yet again fucked up a rule, I'm pretty sure I can do that.
Yeah, Rilla can do you up real pretty, homie. Yeah, so what do you guys want to do? Do you want to assail this trio of knights coming into the jungle right now and take their shit?
I'm just saying that we can get closer stealthily this way.
Sort of. I mean, it's three fucking outfits.
We might not
I
hold
can't
up to
bluff
scrutiny,
for shit. I can't bluff for shit either. So even if she describes me...
Okay, so you won't play the part of the leader. You'll play the part of one of the ones following the leader staying quiet.
Perfect. I'm for that.
Yeah, no, you're assuming I can play the part of the leader well. It's fine. I've survived so far.
I actually was assuming that I would play the role of the...
Oh, shit.
Interesting.
I love this little clash of egos as there's three bad guys just coming sort of near you.
Talking's a free action.
All right,
Of course, forgive me.
If we're doing this, are we doing this? Like, is that happening? Are we ambushing?
I mean, I still got the magic on.
What do we think?
I just don't want to get 60 people involved in murdering us, so we have to be quick as hell if we're going to do this.
So to play devil's advocate, what's our alternative? If we don't ambush these people, then we're left with either A, stealth option without outfits, or B, a full-on direct assault against 50 Knights of the Pyre and a bunch of Void Beasts. Those are, unless I'm failing to see anything else, I don't think we have a wide variety.
All right, I cast Spider Climb and I crawl up into a tree so that I can get a good vantage point because I'm going to be dropping arrows. That's what I do.
Okay, in that spirit, you do have enough time. I will give you all each one free turn before we start with initiative. So Rilla casts Spider Climb and crawls up a tree.
Wait. No.
What?
Or what about invisibility?
No.
Otherwise, they're going to see us real quick with Hector and, Zerback.
If you stay in the jungle and they come at you and you jump them, you should be fine.
That's what I assumed you're wanting to do, is just blend into the woods and then grab them as they walk by.
All we as a group have to do is roll hide checks. That's what you're saying?
So Rilla casts Spider Climb on herself and climbs a tree. What do the rest of you do with one turn before the bad guys get here?
You see, the story is called The Tale of Gary the Guiled, and in it, and I use that to inspire courage.
Which
plus... So everyone gets +1 to attack and damage rolls, and will saves versus fear, yes?
Fantastic. So I am going to roll a hide check, and I'm going to do so, I rolled a 7 on the dice, but I have a 9 on the modifier for a gentleman's 16.
Okay.
Do I need to roll a hide check too, or is that like... Am I good?
You're in a tree. You're fine. No one ever looks up. Ruger, that's part of your move is hiding. Did you want to do an action, cast a spell, prep a thing, do anything like that? You got any bear traps or punji pits or anything? You want to whittle a duck? What do you got?
Wow. Okay. So I only have one spell slot left. I'm just gonna keep that just in case.
Do you want to ready an action to hit somebody with a fucking axe if they get too close to you?
Well, then I gotta ask marching order. Am I the closest to these people, or can I hide a little bit deeper in?
That's up to you, man.
I'm
far,
willing to be
upper?
the front.
I mean, Hector's literally telling a fucking story right now, so attention's gonna be on him.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can post up wherever you want.
Okay. Perfect. I'm gonna hide within striking distance of Hector's position.
Fantastic.
And as far as
here's what I see happens is Rilla casts spider climb and climbs a tree, and then Hector stands just right in front of that tree and just starts telling a story to the open air, and then Ruger dives to the left behind yet another tree, right next to Hector. And then I'm sorry, Ruger, what do you got? Were you saying something? I cut you off.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the plan is here. I don't know if I should pop a shot off into the first person I see or not. I should probably let him get close so that Hector can hit him with the hammer. So no, I am not going to set a ready action to immediately assault these people.
Zerabak, you are seeing your friends get ready for some sort of ambush. Is there anything you have one turn to do stuff before the bad guys get here? What would you like to do?
Nothing.
Fantastic. Then let's go ahead and roll initiative now that the stage is set. So Hector is standing in the middle of the jungle telling a story to the open air. No, telling a story to Zerabak, who's standing still with Snake right behind him. Rilla and Ruger are hiding. And yeah, let's roll initiative and see how this shit fucking goes.
8.
14.
I also got an 8.
My dexterity modifier is 2.
Mine is 3.
The old Rilla Ruger combo.
I'm sorry, Hector, what'd you get?
14.
Nice. Zerabak, what'd you get?
1 and 11. 11 being Snake.
Here I thought we couldn't get worse than a 2. Excellent. And then the bad guys got that number. Okie dokie. So, rightly, Hector is the first to go. So yeah, Hector, you are standing in this small cluster of trees at the very edge of the jungle before it breaks up into just open, craggy rock. And you are telling a story to bolster your companions. And as you do, these 3 knights of the pyre, 2 in these shining breastplates with the burning tower stamped onto them and burning long swords in their hands, and the 3rd dressed in red and orange and yellow flowing gown with magical flames wreathing their figure, hear you and approach, breaking through the tree line into view. They are about 15 feet away from you as they get into the tree line. It is your turn. You are the first to act.
How far apart from each other are they?
They're about 5 feet apart from each other. It's about 5 feet between them.
Are they standing?
Guys with the
Okay.
The 2 guys with the breastplates are forward, and the lady in the gown with the flames around her is 1 step behind them in the middle.
Okay.
And the woman is a human, and the 2 guys are elves. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. As they approach, I just politely say, "How y'all doing this evening?" As I charge at them with my maul and go right into the center of all 3 of them and swing at the woman, who appears to be the magical threat here.
Oh, did I code that well enough for you? Yes, you are correct. All right, so Hector the Gatekeeper, Keeper of the Gates, charges forward, and because he's a feminist icon, goes directly for the woman and swings his gigantic hammer at the woman.
All right, 22 to hit.
Feminist icon, Ruger Firehide. I mean,
Hey.
Damn it. I got it. Damn it. Yeah, Hector, you surge forward. The 2 elven knights in the breastplates are shocked by your speed as you dart in between them. And yeah, you land a blow with your oversized maul against this effigy of the Knights of the Pyre.
13 points of damage.
Dang. As you strike this effigy, with your maul, you feel a satisfying sensation of bone and cartilage giving way underneath the massive head of your maul. But the flames writhing around their body leap out and sear your skin. As you make contact with your weapon, you are going to take 8 points of fire damage.
Nice.
As the flames enshrouding this effigy burn your skin. So you move 15 feet and you attacked. Is that all you got?
Yeah. That'll be it for this turn.
Fantastic. That's going to make it the bad guy's turn.
Yeah.
The effigy cries out in pain after you land your blow and says, "We have intruders on the island! Kill them!" And she is going to throw out her hands. Thumbs together, fingers fanning out, and a sheet of roaring flame is going to dart out from her fingertips. She is casting Burning Hands, and a cone of fire roils out from her. Hector, I'm going to need you to roll me a reflex saving throw.
22.
Nice! Yeah, you save against this spell, much to this effigy's surprise. She throws out her hands, and these flames roil over you. And let's see. So you're only going to take 4 points of damage. Nicely done. As these flames dart out from the effigy's fingers, the Pyre Knights on either side of you now each decide to carve into you with their flaming long swords. The first one swings down at you, trying to carve into your hide. Got a 19 on an attack roll.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
And the second one swings into you and got a 20 on an attack roll. So, let's see. This first hit, 2 flaming long swords slash through your muscly form. The first one does 7 points of damage. 3 of that is fire, if that matters for any of your stats. The second hit, that's considerably more. That's going to be 10 points of damage on the second hit. You feel flaming hot metal sear your skin, and your wounds are cauterized almost as soon as they are made. That is the bad guy's turn. But luckily, that's going to bring us to my favorite part of any fight. It is Snake's turn.
Snakey.
The huge constrictor snake. Parker, what does Snake do?
Viper.
It's
He's
a
not
viper?
constrictor, he's a viper.
It's a viper. The
'Cause
huge
he's got a
viper.
poison attack.
The huge viper. What does Snake do?
He goes bite someone,
Yes.
Is he going to try to bite the effigy or one of the Pyre Knights?
whichever's closest.
The Pyre Knights are closest.
Yeah, they within 20 to 40 feet.
Of you, yes, for sure.
All right, does a 21 hit?
A 21 does hit. Your snake is able to find purchase even through their very well-made armor.
All right, go ahead and roll a con save then.
Got a 18.
Passed. And he does 8 points of damage.
Dang. Big old snake. Dope. So yeah, your enormous serpent slithers forward lightning quick, lashes out with their fangs, and buries them into the shin of one of these knights, who howls in pain and surprise at this gigantic beast. They actually cry out to the effigy, and they say, "Effigy, this beast is not under our control." The effigy says, "That can't be, that's impossible." And that's going to bring us to Rilla. Rilla, you have gone unnoticed in the treetops, since there's way more shit down there on the ground floor to take up these motherfuckers' attention. You are up in a tree amongst swirling ash, looking down on the action. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna cast a touch spell on Rutherford and have him deliver it, is what I'm gonna do. So
Okay.
I still won't be, hopefully, noticed yet. So I cast Shocking Grasp onto Rutherford, and I send him to go touch I don't know, whoever he can flank with quickly and closely. So.
Dope. The easiest thing. Well, yeah. One of the Pyre Knights is closest. And Hector is standing right next to all three of them, so there's no shortage of flanking. Great. So yeah, you send your adorable Maine Coon cat down to the jungle floor, and as it attempts to brush up against one of these knights of the pyre, you cast Shocking Grasp, which surges through the special arcane bond you have with your familiar. And roll touch attack.
So I get a +3 if they are wearing metal armor.
They are wearing metal armor.
Excellent. Ooh. Okay, and then so touch is it plus dex plus that? Is that how that works? I'm trying to remember. It's been a bit.
It's whatever the cat's attack roll is with one of its claws, effectively. Because
you are
Okay.
making a melee attack roll for the cat.
So he's got a +4 plus the 3 for the armor, so that is like a 15. It did not roll well.
15 for their touch. Yeah, that's gonna do it.
Okay, cool. So that is no saving throw. So that is just 5d6 electricity damage.
Excellent.
1 sec. Oh,
Once again, I'm gonna call this the static shock of doom. Like this is the
He'll put a shot to your system.
Yeah,
20
there you go.
20 points of electricity damage.
Jesus.
I rolled 2 6s followed by 2 1s. And
Holy crap. So yeah, Rilla, still ensconced in the branches of this tree, sends down her cat, Rutherford, who dressed in identical clothing. I don't know what outfit you're wearing or what Rutherford's wearing right now. Paint me
I
a
switched
picture.
to desert robes, then I think he must have too, right? Because it's hot
Fantastic.
here.
The canary yellow desert robes.
Uh-huh.
Fantastic. So Rutherford stalks forward in his bright yellow desert robes and, rubs his large Maine Coon cat form against one of these knights' shins as it's engaging with Hector, and it crackles with electricity, and this knight starts foaming at the mouth from the lightning roiling through its body. His eyes bulge, he quakes from the violent electrical surges going through him, and he is very, very hurt. This motherfucker's definitely bloodied. He's in pretty bad fucking shape. Nicely done. That is Rilla's turn. That makes it Ruger Firehide. It is your turn, sir. You have so far evaded detection because, boy, Hector really made a meal of it. Also, don't forget the +1 to attacks and damage rolls for
Inspire Courage.
the Inspire.
So,
yes.
How far away are these people?
From you, I'll say 10 feet.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pop out from around this tree only long enough to levy a shot with the crossbow that I carry, my heavy crossbow.
Okay, do you have precise shot?
I have point blank shot.
Okay, you are going to take a -4 on an attack roll against any of these bad guys because they are currently engaged in melee combat with Hector.
I see. Okay.
But actually, you'll take a -3 because I gave you a +1, so it's fine. So it's fine. If you hit me, it's fine.
No, I mean, I also have point blank shot, which does give me a +1 to attack and damage as well, so that turns that -4 into a -2.
That's true.
Man, fine. I don't really want to get burned. I don't want to get burned, so I don't want to go in there with melee
Don't you have
combat.
protection?
Shut up! Shut up! It doesn't matter. I'm gonna have it, but you will find a way. So,
No, this is great. This is like the internal conflict that Ruger's actually having in fiction. It's like, shoot him with your crossbow. No, I have to get in there. But he's like, no, I just want to shoot him. I can just shoot him, right?
Okay, then I have a dumb question.
Okay.
So, you said they're 10 feet.
Yes.
So if I move in with melee combat, how many attacks can I take as a dual wielder?
If you move more than
One.
Yeah, you get one, bud.
Then I'm shooting it with the crossbow. And specifically, I'm going for the human woman because she's a favorite enemy of mine. So
fantastic.
Take a shot with the heavy crossbow. It's not too bad. So 14 plus 10 minus 2. 22.
Damn. Yeah, that's absolutely a hit. Your crossbow bolt soars the very short distance. Considering you're using a fucking crossbow, this is basically point blank range.
Yep.
Your bolt surges forward and smashes directly into this effigy. How much damage?
I rolled max. So that is 8 plus 1 for Inspire Courage, plus 1 for Point Blank Shot, and plus 4 because she's a human. So that is 8 plus 6. That is 14 points of point blank crossbow damage.
Damn! Holy crow. Yeah, that's a solid fucking hit,
I pop
man.
a shot into her gut. I just, shoot her right in the stomach.
Do you say anything cool to these, your sworn enemies, before you fire off that shot?
Honestly, no. Because I don't want to get burned. And I feel like if I throw out some one-liners, that's going to draw some attention to me. So, no, I am literally just going to pop out from behind this tree, fire off a shot into the fray, and then dip back behind that tree, hoping to avoid notice.
Well, you're definitely not going to avoid notice, but I will give you cover if you're going to stay behind that tree. So yeah, you get up, whip around a little bit, level your crossbow and fire. Your bolt just leaps that very short distance and slams hard into the midsection of this effigy. It was just burned your friend Hector. And they double over in agony, crossbow bolt sticking out of their side. They scream in pain and they stare daggers at you, awash in their agony. And this effigy stares you up and down as you kind of hunker down behind that tree. And she says, "Those scars, that hat, it's the Firehide! Kill him!" And that's going to make it
It's me.
Zurabak's turn.
Firehide.
Yeah, you don't have to say cool shit, because I'll do it for you.
Good.
You got a rep, homie. Zurabak, it is your turn. So, Hector's in the middle of 3 goons. One of the knights seems pretty bad after the electrocution. The effigy's not looking too good after that crossbow bolt. One of these fuckers is untouched. What would you like to do?
Zurback would like to poke the lady with the spear because she talks too much.
Okie dokie. You walk up and assist your companion Hector with some combat. Roll an attack roll against the effigy.
Does a natural 20 confirm a natural 20?
No, it doesn't. You miss.
Parker, what the fuck?
You hit yourself in the dick.
Shit.
I mean, obviously, so Parker rolls with the Google Dice thing, which he's obviously hacked, and that's fine. It's whatever. He should use his skills for more constructive things, but hacking Google's always fun.
10, 12...
Allegedly. Legally, I don't think that's a good thing to say.
Probably not. But we already pissed off the Mighty Mouse, so...
Pretty sure Mighty Mouse isn't Disney, Alex. You need to... pretty sure Mighty Mouse isn't Disney, so...
30 points of spear.
Ooh.
Damn.
3-time critical?
Yeah.
You, sir, are going to take 9 points of fire damage as your spear pierces the heart of this effigy before the light goes out of her eyes and she writhes on the point of your spear. The flames wreathing her leap out and scorch you, but she does die. A gout of flame pouring from her mouth as she lets out her final death gasp and falls limply to the ground, dead. Nicely done. The effigy has been defeated. There are now only 2 of these pyre knights left. The knights freak the fuck out at the death of their effigy. They scream in rage and swear to destroy you. Hector, it is back to the top of the order. It is your turn. The effigy has been laid to rest. There are 2 Pyre Knights, one on either side of you. One of these fuckers looks pretty bad after it got electrocuted. The other one is untouched. What would you like to do?
I would like to say, your leader made a threat and died 4 seconds later. Are you sure you want to be making threats right now? As I swing at the healthier looking one.
Oh, don't worry, Hector. They're dumb.
Roll an attack roll, please.
Does a 28 hit?
Jeez.
Oh, it sure does.
God, we are...
A level 8 barbarian. I'm surprised it's not getting in the 40s. This is 3.5. Oh yeah, just real quick note for any of you cool D&D fans out there that are only playing version 5e. In 3.5, the numbers get very high very quickly, and they're only going to get higher from here. They don't really have the same... They don't really simplify things like they do in 5e, so don't...
Thank God.
Your game's at home. You're doing everything fine. There's no fucking way you can roll this high at level 8 with the shit you're playing. Don't even worry about it, homies. How much damage, Hector, with your oversized 2-handed hammer?
16 points of damage.
That's a dead fucker.
Cool. Cleave?
You... forgot about Cleave. Yes, please do. Yes, please do. Yeah, Hector, you smash into this knight, and he buckles like, I don't know, a buckle.
A slender elf.
So his pants fall down?
You fold him like an omelet. You smash him right off his feet. You crumple his breastplate with the force of your blow. And yeah, follow the momentum. What is your attack?
I almost just did the same thing that Zurabak just did. I rolled a critical, and then I rolled a 19 on the dice to confirm it.
So close.
Okay.
For a 31 to confirm my critical.
That does confirm the critical with your 2-handed oversized maul. Please roll damage.
Let's note that what I'm adding is going to be 14 on top of the dice rolls. So I think we're good.
The funny thing to me is you all went to such great lengths to not have 2 entire fights when you are, all of you, nuclear fucking bombs in your own right.
25 points of damage.
Joe, boy, he's bloodied. Not dead, but severely wounded.
Oh,
yeah,
I went for the
attack,
okay.
right,
It's cool.
Hector?
I was intending to go for the healthy one first. It's fine because I still have another attack.
Yes.
Because I wanted to try and whittle down the healthy one and then hopefully get the cleave off on the less healthy one. But
well, my bad. That's not what happened. Please continue.
all good because I'm still gonna keep this up.
So yeah, you crumple the first one with your initial swing. You follow through the momentum and in one whirlwind motion, smash into the second bastard. He is still on his feet, though reeling. His shield dented and sparks flying off his flaming sword as he tries to defend against your blow. What's your last attack roll, sir?
19 to hit.
19 just barely gets it.
We're off 12 points of damage.
All right. Still on his feet, but severely wounded. Nicely done. Yeah, you smash this motherfucker this last time, and you put an enormous crack through the shield that he's tried to interpose between you and himself. You ring him like a goddamn bell. He shivers from top to bottom under the weight of your assault, and he is still barely keeping his feet. He is going to try to return the attack in kind. He stares at you with a zealous hatred and tries to cut you down as you cut down his ally. Let's see what he gets. Well, he got a critical one. You have dislocated this poor man's shoulder. He cannot lift his arm well enough to hit you. His blade is too heavy to raise, and he sort of limply swings at you, but is just unable to work up the strength after that onslaught. That's going to bring us to Snake. It is Snake's turn. What does Snake do?
Snake. Oh, Zerback did another point of damage to that dead lady. I forgot.
Spire courage.
Spire.
Super dead. Still dead.
Still dead. Snake's gonna bite this man.
Fantastic.
With his mouth.
Attack roll.
Just his whole mouth.
Just the whole mouth.
Ooh. And Snake's attack bonus is.
Drum roll, please.
Does a 14 hit.
A 14, unfortunately, is unable to bypass this Pyre Knight's armor.
15.
Wait.
15
Flanking and the song, so add 3 to whatever I said. Still probably not a
17's
hit.
not going to do it either,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So your venomous viper of enormous size lashes out. Their teeth skid off of the burnished breastplate worn by this Pyre Knight, and unfortunately they are unable to pierce their flesh this time. That makes it Rilla's turn. Rilla, you were up in a tree, chilling out, maxing, relaxing all cool, shooting some b-ball outside of the school.
Wow.
A couple of guys are up to no good. They started setting fires in your neighborhood.
Then what happens?
Yeah, tell me more.
Your friends got in one pretty savage fight.
And Ruger got scared.
Ruger got scared.
And somehow Zurabak's a fucking heir.
He said, "We're going to the island where Zurabak's an heir." Rilla, it's your turn. What do you got?
I mean, this dude's dead just about, so I just like casually shoot him once with an arrow, because I
Just a
climbed
real
a tree.
cash situation.
I climbed a tree. I might as well try it at least once.
Super cash. Yeah, roll an attack.
As you fall out of the tree.
He's engaged.
No.
He's engaged, right? So there's
Nonsense.
negatives.
Rilla, do you have
We
precise
don't know
shot?
his marital status.
Yes, of course I do.
Yeah, Rilla's an actual archer.
I have
Ruger.
point blank and precise shot, and I've had those since I started. I'm pretty
Boom.
sure. All right, so I got a 19 to hit.
That is definitely a hit. Nicely done, Rilla.
Cool. And
Add to your damage because of
he's
Inspire
within
Courage.
30 feet of me, correct?
He is within 30 feet of you, and you've got Inspire Courage.
Cool. I rolled minimum damage, so that's 3 points of damage.
Real casual.
Real cash, just super
Just a little
cash. Just real
She
cash.
shoots him in the knee.
You know, Rilla, do me a favor. You're in the top of this tree. There's people screaming blood debts, and this guy's watching his friends get slaughtered right in front of him. The fire hide is behind that tree. Let's say they don't see you and you get your sneak attack damage as well. Why don't you go ahead and roll me 1d6, because you're a rogue now.
I got a 2. I got a 2 there. I'm not rolling high on damage.
Okay, that is enough to kill this motherfucker.
Cool, I shoot him in his stupid elf ear. I mean, I have him too, but I do that.
Racist.
Why would you? Where did that even come from? What
Apparently, he
the
has
fuck?
stupid elf ears.
I guess that's weird. Okay. Yeah. So Rilla, in your tree, you lazily knock an arrow. You sort of haphazardly take aim, and you just casually fire. And your arrow happens to catch this guy in it. You pin his ear to his skull.
Yeah. He's even more shameful than the elders. Like, to sign up with these people? Like, fuck this dude.
He looks like... oh, yeah, I guess there's that through line where you just kind of hate elves. He looks like Steve Martin back in the 80s.
I don't hate
with an
all
arrow through his
elves,
head.
just old ones that try to
Most
take my
elves.
blood.
And he falls to the ground dead. Congratulations. You have slain these 3 Knights of the Pyre. Well, these 2 Knights of the Pyre in their effigy.
that is now
Congratulations.
the third encounter in a row where Ruger squared off against the Knights of the Pyre and has not been burned. I want to fucking roll, baby.
Solid. Very solid.
Cool. Cool.
You will be kissed by flame on
Shut
this
your
island once,
mouth.
Ruger. I'm almost
You
certain of
shut
it.
your mouth. I will do everything in my
Mostly
powers.
from the volcano.
I'm already climbing down this tree and dragging the bodies into the woods. We got shit to do. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I guess Zerback pulls the lady off his spear. 'Cause she was kind of
Yes.
just like stuck on there.
How bad did you mess that outfit up, Zurabak?
Well, there's a bloody spear hole in it, but if you have mending, you can...
You know I do.
If you have prestidigitation and mending, you can fix these right up. So you drag these bodies a little deeper into the jungle. You don't seem to see any other patrols coming at you for the moment. And yeah, what's the game plan, y'all? What do you do?
I'm going to, now that combat is over and I don't have to be pretending like things don't hurt, I'm going to immediately...
I am going to...
fuck, that really... Fire fucking sucks, guys.
Yeah, Hector, your eyebrows are singed and you have like cauterized sword cuts on your arms and chest.
I'm gonna pull out a potion, and I'm gonna drink a Cure Moderate Wounds potion.
I have the wand. Don't forget about the wand if you want to save the potion.
The potion's probably not gonna be enough, so...
What were these
Maybe
people
we can
equipped
do a
with?
little bit of both.
What were these weapons? Because I definitely want one of those long swords, like, after we're done with this shit, because mine's basic. I don't have any magical weapons.
You can have it now. So, you don't know exactly what they do, but you do know that they have fire. These long swords are flaming long swords. You don't know the command word. That will require an identify spell to use them, but they're flaming long swords. You know that pretty fucking well. The effigy didn't seem to have any weapons, but yes, you've got 2 breastplates, 2 shields, 2 flaming long swords. The effigy has a spell component pouch.
Okay, Hector, here's the thing. I can't wear armor. If I put armor on, I'm gonna be pretty fucked. I think I need to be the effigy because she's a mage of some sort, kind of like me. I do want one of those swords, but not now. Like, if you guys don't mind later, that would be cool, because I can use one. But I can't pretend to be one of these people unless I'm the effigy. Also, no offense, I don't know how good I'd be at making you look like a woman, especially with no eyebrows.
I mean, the eyebrows, you just shave them right off.
Okay.
They're already off.
Hector, did you heal yourself fully, or how'd that go?
No, could I have a hit of that wand, please,
I hit him
sir?
so hard with the wand. So that is 6 on the dice. So it says plus 1 point per caster level. Is Ranger considered a caster level?
Or it would be the caster level of the wand creator, right?
Yeah, the wand has its own caster level. I just rolled for it. It's a 3rd level wand, so it's whatever you roll plus 3.
So then 6 plus 3, 9 points of health.
That's almost max. I'm good with that.
Nice. So who's dressing as what? How are we doing this Halloween bash? What's
I'm
going
already
on?
halfway into one of the Knights of the Pyre's metal armor.
Now, Ruger, you gotta tell me, how does that feel, bud? What's going through Ruger's head as you don the armor of the people that murdered your daughter?
Yeah, so I gotta be real honest with you. I had a flash of real darkness for a moment. I deeply considered Ruger chopping off the heads of these 3 corpses with his axe.
Yeah.
As just sort of a visceral sense of brutality against those who brutalized him.
Sure.
But instead, I think Ruger refrains from that, the darkest of paths that he's walked for years now, and instead is just going to grumble to himself as he slides into his mortal enemy's attire. Yeah.
Yeah, that thought, that like intrusive, visceral thought plays out in your mind as you sort of like slink back into the Firehide moniker a little bit, but you shake your head and kind of slip out of it. And yeah, you throw on one of these breastplates, this fiery red and orange cloak, and don the shield and the sword. Hector, Zurabak, Rilla, what do you guys... Rilla, are you taking the dress?
I mean, I was trying to talk to Hector about it. Like, I know he wanted to lead, but I don't know that I can make him a woman. And yet again, I don't want to put armor on because I'm a sorcerer, and that'll fuck with my spellcasting.
Rilla, I was mostly joking because you were commenting about how we were going to force you into that speaking role, but you were obviously the one best equipped for that.
And
Cool,
you
cool.
literally took it you just took that role a couple episodes ago. So like,
I know, but somebody took Bard level, so if he wanted to start performing more, like, I understand.
All right, so Rilla, you're throwing on the effigy's dress.
Yeah, and I mend it, and I make it look right, and I'm also inspecting all of their faces, so I'm glad you didn't chop them off, because I'm gonna have to make y'all look like these people.
Hector, are you throwing on that breastplate?
Yep.
Fantastic. I believe that barbarians can wear.
Yeah, they can wear medium.
Sweet.
What are we doing with Zerback? Are we saying we found him? How are we getting this dude in?
Yeah, Zerback, what are you guys doing with Zerback?
I'm sorry, do you mean Algernon?
Hey, Zerback, can you turn into a big animal yet? Are you like that sort of druid? No, shit. Because then we could just lead you in, like, oh, look, we found him.
Damn.
Zerback actually doesn't turn into animals. Zerback took the wild aspect feature, so parts of his body turn into animal-like things, but he can't turn into animals completely. He can.
I have
grow
an
claws
idea.
and fangs.
What?
For what we do with Zurabak.
What?
Hey, Queen Letitia, this guy said that he's your brother.
Pass.
It's just an
It's
inn.
to get
it's
us
just an
in
inn
the
for why
door.
we're walking with, an orc prisoner and bringing them into the castle. You don't have to do anything with that, Zurabak. It's just a thing to say to help us get closer to our
Or
goal.
we just make you invisible and you just be real, real quiet and follow Snake. And Snake's what we're bringing back is, hey, we found a snake. We could do that.
As long as invisibility works, I still maintain a level of skepticism that that's actually going to work.
That is true. They have kind of noticed my magic, so, yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm
we're
not sure.
safer not relying too much on magical means of hiding ourselves.
Have we
Mundane means might be more effective.
have we
here.
considered?
I know which tactic I'd prefer of the ones discussed, but I'm over here.
See, I think we should just try and lure the rest of them out in parties of 3. So whatever 47 divided by 3 is, we'll just lure them out in parties of 3 and ambush them like this.
Ruger, roll me, you got history?
No, I've got dungeoneering, geography, nature, nobility, and religion.
All right, roll me a naked intelligence check.
Can I keep my clothes on? Excuse me, can I keep this guy's clothes on? That's not great, buddy. That's a 9. 7 plus 2.
Okay, nothing in particular dawns on you about that lovely plan you've just concocted.
Yeah, that's good, because it wasn't really a plan anyways. I'm still just, over here putting on some other dude's boots and fantasizing chopping his head off. So, real healthy stuff.
So after a very short amount of time, you guys have sequestered these 3 corpses, and Ruger and Hector have donned the armor of the Knights of the Pyre, the breastplates with the burning tower stamped on the front of it, and the orange and red cloaks, the shields and swords. Rilla is dressed as an effigy. What do you guys do?
I cleaned all of our outfits, because I think one prestidigitation could probably do that, right? It's like a 5-foot cube.
Yeah,
some
you can
shit.
pile everything up in the middle and Clint. Yeah, it's fine. Really, are you applying disguises to everybody?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna need you to roll me 3 different disguise checks.
First one, let's say it's Hector. Ooh, that's a 23.
Damn.
He's real elfy. Second one.
You have prosthetic ears. This is incredible.
Of course I do. Second one is a 22.
Hey, is that me?
Jesus.
Yes. And mine is the lowest at a 20.
Wow. Fantastic. Yeah, after Rilla pulls out her disguise kit, opens it up like a fucking doctor's bag and pulls out row after row of makeup and prosthetics and bits of cloth and wigs, a couple false teeth. And after a couple minutes fussing over you, Ruger and Hector, you are the spitting image of the 2 elven men that you've just murdered in the jungle here. And Rilla herself looks remarkably like the effigy you just slew. And Zurabak looks like Zurabak.
Now, I could cast a spell here and turn into her, but I am also wary of the magic. Like, what do you... I feel like they'll sense it because they've sensed all magic. Currently, there isn't any.
What
right?
do you mean they've sensed all magic? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
I mean, they've noticed when I cast spells. Like, they've made comments about it. Like, oh god. With, I thought they noticed it when I was doing the, like, earlier spell shit, on the island we landed. I could have sworn they, like, were picking up on it.
When you first got here, you came through
right, because they saw
portal.
me and then we vanished. And that, yeah. Okay, yeah.
They literally saw you and then you disappeared in front of their very eyes.
Right.
So no, they're not. I mean, I'm not saying it won't happen, but they're not.
Is it worth casting a second level spell?
How long does it last?
Let's see. 10 minutes a level, so 70 minutes.
Are we level 8?
At this point. I have a level of rogue.
Oh, it's
I'm
caster
assuming
level.
that doesn't count.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Good math.
So, I mean, I could do it for a little over an hour, but this also looks pretty good as is. I guess we should talk about what the plan is, actually, because I'm the one who's going to have to bullshit.
Yeah, let's try to get a plan together before we have to sign off, and then we'll pick it up next time with us doing the plan. But yeah, what's the plan?
All right, so we need to get in and downstairs to the vent to get the Obsidian Dagger. Are we or are we not on the hunt for Letitia Skullsplitter as well? They might not be in the same place. They might be. They might not be.
Yes, that is...
I mean, I don't... Go ahead.
I firmly believe that we should do everything we can to help these people. And that will involve, at the very least, meeting Zurabak's sister.
So, how about this? This vent is allegedly in her private sauna. That's my understanding. Something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
You were given a map. There is a vent that leads to her sauna, which is like a covert way into the palace. The lava you're looking for is under the castle, below the dungeons.
Below the dungeons. Awesome.
Deep in the bowels of this castle.
Okay, then...
Which is also where we could turn the volcano on. So if we don't give a shit about looting this castle or keeping this woman alive, theoretically, we could just go down there, set off the volcano, and die in the volcano, which is what I'm concerned about.
That part, I'm a little... I'm not too thrilled about that, exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing that I don't think a lot of you guys are getting is that you'll be in it when it happens.
Yeah.
You'll be inside of it.
Well, someone would have to noble sacrifice. I don't think it'll be me.
It's definitely under no circumstance gonna be me.
We have a prisoner, right? So us going straight to the dungeons makes sense. We go in, take him to the dungeons, and try and infiltrate to get to the lava source from there. And then, once we've gotten our mold done, then we can try and tell Letitia, or pass word to Letitia, that someone claiming to be her brother is down in the dungeon cells. And that way we can draw her to us to confront her.
My instinct is there's a giant fucking spike right there. If we show up with a huge ass snake and a dude, they're just gonna be like, cool, throw him on the spike. Like, why would we toss him in the dungeon?
Because he is claiming to be family of the queen, and therefore we wanted to wait and see what she specifically wanted to do with him. If she then says, I don't even want to talk to him, kill him, then we'll deal with that then, but we could be able to lure her to face to face.
I feel like you're just seeing a story there now that we've studied all these bardic lore shit. You're like, oh, we're gonna have this special reunion in the prison cell.
I am very aware of the kind of person that our dear buddy Zurabak is, and boy, do I hope the apple fell really far from the tree, but I am not expecting this to be a tearful reunion where we definitely get her on our side immediately because she sees her baby brother or anything like that. I
think he's older, isn't he?
Older brother.
Yeah, he's an older brother.
That's
He's
what
the actual
said.
heir. Yeah. Which makes him more of a threat, because then it's like, oh, here's the person who should be ruling.
Yeah, we're marching in here to usurp the throne, even if we don't intend to. That's just the nature of his legacy, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I agree with Rilla that if we march in there, we run the risk of them just being like, chuck him on the spike and call it a day. You know, that's. I guess my question is, do we have a plan in the event we get in there in the thick of 47 Knights of the Pyre and all these demon monsters and shit, and then things go sideways? Do we have a plan to escape?
Can I cast a disguise check on Snake to make him look like he's already lost his soul?
Gasp.
Yes, that's too cool not to allow you to try to do that.
What?
Yes, you absolutely can. That's too awesome for me to say no to.
Cool.
Yes, you can.
Cool. I can at least make sure that we don't have to toss him on
You're
the pyre.
going to want to ask
immediately.
permission, I would
Zerback,
say.
you cool with this?
Why are you asking me?
Snake, are you okay with this?
Snake sticks out his tongue.
Okay, well, I rolled a 19, so that's a 29 on my disguise check for Snake.
Okay, Snake has the best disguise, which might be the most important part.
We've been sitting here for too
Okay.
long, so I chop off one of the guys' heads.
I'm just, you know what? I'm just give me a second. I gotta take care of something.
So I just go ahead and fucking.
I mean, I don't need it anymore. I don't care.
No one even bats an eye. I just start hacking at the dude's neck, and they're just like, yeah, okay.
I just wordlessly, lightly pat you on the shoulder whenever you come back to the circle.
Just don't get the blood on your outfit. I just cleaned it.
Ruger walks away from the conversation, screams "Fire hide" somewhere in the middle of the trees, and you hear just "Fire hide!" just hacking, and then he walks back.
But it's like, who is that? Is that Hades from the Hercules movie where he like flares up real hot and then...
Yeah, for sure.
I'm cool.
So, that was a great conversation you guys had. What's
I
the
have no
plan,
idea.
though? What are you doing?
Ha!
You have disguised Snake to look like a void beast. The three of you are disguised as Knights of the Pyre. Are you walking Zurabak in the front door as a prisoner to try to get to the
Well, I have the same
dungeons?
question that I already had, which is what is our escape plan? Either way, no matter how you cut it, we gotta get out. And if we're gonna go and blow
Sure.
this bitch up, do we have any means of expeditious retreat? Do we have any special tricks up our sleeve? Like, I don't know.
Could Zerback, like, take a stupid-ass bird? Could he, like, control one of these things?
There's rocks all around.
Zurabak has not tried to control a void beast yet. Also, Rilla has a spell called Invisibility Sphere, which would make you all invisible if you just stay next to her, which isn't bad for escape plans.
I mean, yeah, but we don't know what's going to happen between now and then. She could use up that spell slot.
And we have
true.
been operating
That's
under
true.
the assumption that we're skeptical of invisibility. Anyways,
I mean, now's a hell of a time to worry about escape plans also. Because then...
well, that's my point. So, like, you know, I don't know, Zurabak, do you have something that will help shape stone where we could, I don't know, just go through the wall of this dungeon to get out, or
seal a doorway behind us.
or seal a doorway behind us? I mean, I don't have magic that's going to get us through this. I should point out that I had to look up the temperature of lava because so look, I have endure elements. It gives a temperature range. I
Not
know,
good.
but I then had to know, you know. So, and 700 degrees to
That's
1250 degrees is the temperature of lava at most. Endure elements protects to 140.
Yeah,
So,
it's that convection. That's
so
what it
yeah,
is.
again, all right, we're going to blow up everything and just nuke it with lava. How do we get out there after we lit the fuse? How do we get out?
Who says we're leaving?
Me. I do. by way.
I mean, yeah, me too.
We can't. I know we want to have a meticulous plan in place, but we don't fully know what everything looks like down there. We can't say, maybe there will be a way to set a delayed reaction that will give us time to escape. Maybe not, and there's not much we can do about it now from here. At the very least, we need to see what it looks like down there.
Do we have a meticulous plan to get in, though, either? Like...
Yeah, so I was just...
That's more...
What about we ask the guy in the back? Maybe the archdemon that did all of this to us, the Satan that Zerabak keeps in burlap, might have, I don't know, a trick up his sleeve.
That is true. He technically has magic, right?
I've seen him use it.
He does. That is.
Yeah, but you guys have been assholes to him.
You have. You definitely have.
Well, I just chopped a guy's head off,
haven't?
so I'm in a mood.
Zerabak's been chill as fuck to the
He
Stricken
keeps
the
shoving
whole time.
him in a bag. How is that chill as fuck?
Yeah.
He asked to come. Like, that's just part of it. He's technically got a ride. Like, he's master blastering this bitch. That's not necessarily
I kicked the bag.
You guys have been assholes to him. Kick him.
I go lean against a tree and aggressively smoke a cigarette.
So what's the plan? What are we doing?
Sam, is there a way to get to, like, the wall without being seen? Without having to try terribly hard?
I mean, so, to reiterate, you guys are at the edge of the jungle. Between you and... between the edge of the jungle and the walls of this fortress is about a half mile of broken, craggy obsidian. There is a broad ramp, a road cut smooth, gouged in the middle of this, leading all the way up to the main gate. The gates are open at the moment, with a string of 10 enormous beasts being led into the courtyard beyond the gate towards a void spike, and patrolling around on flying beasts and walking beasts, and just patrolling on foot are about 47 Knights of the Pyre. To answer your question, you would have to walk over fairly open, rocky ground, about a half a mile from where you're standing to the walls of the fortress. You could scuttle from crag to crag for half of a mile and hope no one spots you from the air or from the land. It's possible, but not easy, no.
Unless we used an invisibility spear.
Yeah, I mean, if you were all invisible, you wouldn't even need these disguises, but you got these disguises.
We sure do.
The only plan I've heard so far is walk Zura back in there, hope they'll let you take him to the dungeons, work out the shit from there. Are there any other potential plans?
I cast invisibility spear. We fucking walk to the wall and then climb it.
Or why Zura back?
Make the wall disappear.
Yeah.
So the wall is
Do you want to do
the wall
that?
is a curtain wall, correct? So
Yes.
It's not the wall of the palace itself. It is an exterior wall separating the palace by a courtyard, right?
Yes, there's a broad ramp leading up to a big ass wall. There's the courtyard inside of the wall with the void spike in it, and then on the other side of the courtyard is the beginning of the fortress, which looks like a giant skull cut down the middle.
All right, I'm casting my vote for marching Zura back in there and Rilla talking us out of any problems we run into.
I'm so good at that.
I have faith.
You say that sarcastically, but you unironically are so good at that.
Yeah, pretty good, especially at this specific thing, because you've done this twice to excellent, like specifically pretending to be an effigy is kind of your whole bag.
I am quietly, so as not to upset Ruger, like admiring the proper costume, because I had one that was like an approximation, but now I have the real deal on.
Oh, this gown is dope as shit. It is lovely.
I'd burn it, but they'd probably like that.
Yeah, they would.
Probably, yeah, I wouldn't do shit.
All right, are y'all marching Zurabak up to the gates? Yes or no?
Yeah, fuck it.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess is our answer. We're gonna go in half cocked, full of spit and vinegar, and no exit strategy.
Look, if we're gonna come up with an elaborate plan, we have to do so off screen, or else it won't work. That's how it goes.
So, as the volcano continues to boil, sending bits of magma flying towards the heavens, and the black clouds like a smokestack churn into the sky above, you all, amidst clouds of swirling ash, break the tree line of the jungle. Ruger and Hector, clad in the armor of the Knights of the Pyre, and Rilla Longshadow, disguised as an effigy, and holding Zurabak between you, you all stalk up the slanted ramp leading up to the wall of the Skullsplitter Castle, a disguised snake behind you, looking the spitting image of a void beast. And that is where we will end.
Best plan ever.
Hello and welcome to As the Dice Turns, the podcast after the podcast, where we take a deep dive into our player character psychology, their characterization, their motivation, and try to get a better understanding of them as people. In this part of our show, we like to ask each of our protagonists a question and see if we can't unearth some deeper truths about them. The question for today's episode is, what was your favorite game as a child? All of the protagonists of our lovely story here are grown adults, except for Rilla, who's still technically a teenager. It gets confusing with elves, but they were all children once, and arguably children still. And children love to play games. Our protagonist grew up in very different parts of Myosha, around different communities, and I'm fascinated to see their different answers to these questions. I guess we will start this time with Zurabak. Zurabak, it's a pleasure to see you in the studio. How are you today, sir?
Hey, your army over there.
The Roombas?
War will be upon us soon.
Yeah, I don't know where they got Kalishnikovs, but there's a shit ton of, there's so much ammo in their charging ports now, and I don't know where they got it. I'm really starting to get a little freaked out about that. The floors are so clean though. They're so fucking clean. I don't know if it's gonna
price.
I mean, that's the question, isn't it? That's the age-old question. I know they talk to each other when I'm asleep. Anyway, we'll unpack that later. I'm sure putting that off to another day will not have any dire consequences whatsoever. Zurabak, the question for today on As the Dice Turns is, what was your favorite game as a child?
Druid or animal?
Druid or animal? That sounds interesting. How do you play that?
Well, you look at something, then you go up and bite it as hard as you can. And then,
Okay.
based on how it reacts, you figure out if it's a druid or an animal.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I see where you're coming from there, because druids have the ability to turn into the form of various animals. That actually does sound almost fun. I can't imagine it's too terribly nice to be bitten as hard as someone can bite you, but I guess it's, yeah, that actually sounds like a pretty good time.
Maybe they shouldn't look so delicious.
Sure, yeah, that's blame the victim. That's what I always say. Listeners, I don't ever say that. I'm just trying to connect with the guest here. You all understand. So that actually sounds pretty fun. Tell me, Zurabak, were you any good at this game? Did you rack up the high score?
The best.
Now, Now, I feel like I have to follow that up with, was that just because you bit literally everything that came in your pack? Okay, gotcha. So it's a numbers game. You just got so many bites on there that no one could compete with you.
Competition? No, they got bit too.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, fantastic. Zerbeck, I am surprised that you had such a fun answer to this question. I guess I do just have one more follow-up. Did anyone else actually play this game, or was this just you biting the shit out of everything in the swamp?
Everybody plays, whether they want to or not.
Understood. Okay. I'm gonna reach for one of these Kalashnikovs here off this Roomba, and I'm just gonna hold that between the two of us. Okay, well, Zerbeck, it's always a pleasure. I'm super not playing, just for the record.
Too late.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna have some Roombas go ahead and just see you out then. Go ahead and show them out, boys.
They don't follow your orders.
They don't. They really don't. Anyway, always a pleasure, Zerbeck. Thank you very much. Who do we got next? Ruger Firehide. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right, host. But I did take note. You've armed the Roombas.
Now, that's a scary thing, Ruger, is I have not armed them. I just order them so that they'll clean the floors. I kept ordering more and more of them because Zerbeck kept eating or destroying them with magic, and now I've got to tidy some, and they have apparently armed themselves. They're communicating with each other.
Are you saying that these are all unlicensed firearms?
I'm saying that I have to show them an ID before I can come into this studio. So, we're all adjusting to the Roombas.
Yeah, that's all nice and fine, but I'm gonna have to write you a citation for sir. Gun safety is important, and strapping them onto moving robots is just not a good idea.
Look, I will state one more time that you can issue citations to the Roombas. I'm not going down for these fuckers, okay? I didn't order the guns. I forgot you were a cop, so that's on me. That's on me. Anyway, that's all beside the point, Ruger. You're here for a specific reason, and that's to answer my inane questions. The question for today is, what was your favorite game as a child? Before being a sheriff, before you became Ruger Firehide, I assume you were a little Ruger running around out there in the freehold. What kind of games did you like to play as a kid?
Well, actually, host, that's a pretty easy one, and you might find the answer fairly unsurprising. When I was a kid, I moved around a lot, but I did spend a fair amount of time in a lovely little city called Sandstone. And some of the other kids there, they and I, we play this game we called Sheriffs and Outlaws, where we'd, chase each other and pretend to commit crimes. And, well, I mean, Jimmy would occasionally actually commit those crimes, but generally speaking, it was all for fun. So, yeah, ever since I was a boy, I've been, playing the sheriff.
That is as predictable as it is adorable, Ruger. That is, I can just see you now as a little bucktooth boy playing cops and robbers with your friends in Sandstone. That's adorable. What have you wanted to be a lawman for as long as you can remember?
Well, I suppose so. I suppose I've always appreciated the honor and dignity of upholding the law and upholding what binds us together as a society. Even as a little boy, I really didn't think Jimmy should steal those sweet rolls. I just really thought that wasn't a great idea. So yeah, I did rat out Jimmy to the sheriff.
So, did you ever play an outlaw, or were you always a narc? I mean, a sheriff.
That's funny. No, yeah, I've definitely dabbled in playing the outlaw as well. I mean, it's important to get into the mindset of of the outlaw, especially having turned into the bounty hunter. It's important to think like an outlaw thinks. So yeah, sometimes I stole the sweet rolls with Jimmy. It did happen sometimes.
Ruger, I am clutching my pearls. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Well, no, that's an excellent answer. A lovely insight into your childhood. That makes a lot of sense. All right, so Sheriffs and Outlaws, the favorite game of Ruger Firehide. Thank you very much for your honesty, sir. It's much appreciated. And you're going to want to take this ID badge, show that to the Roombas on your way out. They're getting really pushy, okay?
Yeah, I'll do that, host.
Thank you. All right, who we got next here? Rilla Longshadow. Thank you as always for joining us. How are you today?
Host, there's like an awful lot of barbed wire, but I've noticed it's like knee height. Like what's up with that?
Yeah, there's the Roombas keep putting them up there. At first I thought they were trying to like cordon off like office space to make cubicles or something, but then I tore open my shin trying to go to the break room. So I think they're just setting up no man's land. I saw a couple of them with a couple spoons like trying to dig a trench. So there's a lot of activity going on. It's definitely wild around here.
I guess if you cover the ground in barbed wire, no one's gonna dirty it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes a sort of weird logic. I'm just hoping that they don't start cleaning up the barbed wire, because that's not going to be good for their insides. Anyway, we're getting distracted. Rilla, thanks for being here as always. The question for today is, what was your favorite game as a child? I know you had a taxing, one might say traumatic, potentially abusive childhood at the hands of the elders of Greenleaf, experimenting on you for your magical abilities. Was there any time for games in the village you grew up in?
I mean, with normal children, no. But with Dara, yes. But she was a lot younger than me, so we did a lot of stuff she liked, really. There was one game that was kind of fun though. I would when Dara was like, I don't know, 3 or 4-ish, rough approximations as always.
Yeah.
She used to build really complicated mazes out of blocks for me, as difficult as she could, and then I would use prestidigitation to create balls of light and try to escape, as she would change the mazes around. On the fly, and that was really fun. Actually, we had a lot of fun with that. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Yeah, an excellent way to delight your sister, I'm sure, and also a way to practice your magical acumen. That sounds like an incredibly inventive way to pass the time in the very special circumstances you found yourself in as a child. That's a lovely game. Did you win often?
She's pretty cunning for a little sister. She had a real talent for getting me trapped in corners and then, kind of shutting the one exit off.
Gotcha.
And cackling. She cackled a lot for a toddler.
Well, that sounds like a lovely way to connect with your sibling and a way to stay sane, I'm sure, considering everything going on in your childhood. Oh, well, that's a lovely answer, Rilla, and I certainly appreciate your candor. Here's your ID badge. You're going to want to keep this on you when you exit, or the Roombas won't let you leave.
Why is my blood type on this?
Well, they're thorough. They want to make sure everything's clean. down to the molecular level, and so they're just real thorough. But look at the floors. Look at those floors. I can and do eat off those floors. They're spotless. Anyway, thank you for coming out, Rilla. Please be careful on your way out.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. And last but not least, we have Hector the Gatekeeper, Keeper of the Gates. How are you, sir?
I'm quite well. I guess, I have a new job now. I'm supposed to, I think, protect the area above 3 inches off the floor.
Yeah, the everything 3 inches and below is definitely being taken care of. So definitely don't. Actually, if you get any closer to the floor than 3 inches, these Roombas will just lose their fucking shit. So yeah, kind of a hot lava situation. But look how clean those floors are, right? I mean, I can fucking see myself in them. I could see you in them.
Yeah. It's nice.
So, you rolls the dice and you takes your chances. And anyway, Hector, it's a delight to have you in the studio as always. The question for today is, what was your favorite game as a child?
Childhood games. Well, we are a hardy folk, but we are not without our fun. Many games we played as children. Have you ever played tag on the side of a mountain? That's pretty fun.
I can't say I have. I would assume the running and jumping and giggling could get very hazardous on the side of a mountain.
Yes, like I said, fun. But the best game.
Right.
Is one that I grew to be quite skilled at. And that is a good old-fashioned drink-off.
Now, you say this is a children's game?
Well, certainly many play it into adulthood, but you learn the basics of the game in childhood. It's...
Sure. And what were you drinking?
What else is there to drink but ale?
Right. Okay. So, Hector, I just want to get this clear, because we've known each other for a while. Are you telling me that as a child you would drunkenly run on the side of a mountain as a child?
Now, come on. We didn't do a drinking competition straight into mountain tag.
Okay, thank goodness.
We would, there'd be like a 10-minute break.
Sure, right. Yeah, sure. Yeah, 10 minutes. Uh-huh. For the kids. Wow. Hector, that surely displays the hardiness of your people. I won't deny that. Wow, okay. So drinking. I guess let me follow this up. Did you win a lot? As the son of Rufus, the chief of the Gatekeepers, I assume there was a lot of pressure on you to outperform the other children.
Oh, yeah, no, I beat the other children handily. It took a while until I was able to beat Dad.
And about how old were you when that happened?
The first time I was 12. I think that was a bit of a fluke. I'm not gonna, take that away from him. I think he had been drinking a little bit already before the competition started, so I'm not confident saying that I definitively beat him then, but I did.
Sure.
I did win once when I was 12. So.
Well, Hector, I have to say the fact that you keep a bottle of rot gut on you and that you just handle it no problem, it makes a lot more sense now, considering your childhood consumption patterns. That's a surprising insight into Gatekeeper culture. I didn't realize it started that young. But it does sound like fun in a certain specific vertigo-inducing, death-defying way.
It's the most fun. Okay, I'm being told that I'm needed in the other room. Uh, are, yes, sir. Okay. Oh, yes, sir. Okay, I have to go.
All right. Okay. Bye, Hector. Wow, those Roombas they just picked him up and took him over there. Hey, Sharon. Do we have the owner's manual for these fucking Roombas or what's? It's getting wild out here, Sharon. I think I saw mustard gas, Sharon. Oh, sorry. Thank you for listening to As the Dice Turns, a podcast after the podcast. Hopefully we'll be here next week. And until next time, keep those dice turning. Sharon! Hey there, dear listeners. It is Sam, your Dungeon Master, checking in with the credits here at the end of the show. Music for Challenge Rating 0 is provided by the Harp Wolf, Danielle Taylor Williams. You can find more of her beautiful work at danielletaylorharp.bandcamp.com. She has an album out called Why Are We Surprised When Seasons Change? You should check it out. It's a real club banger. Additional music for Challenge Rating 0 is provided by Justin Ra. You can find more of his work at justinra.com, including tour dates and merch. He has an album out called Age of the Spirit, which you should also check out. It kicks ass. If you'd like to reach out to us here at Challenge Rating 0, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Challenge Rating 0. You can find us on Twitter at challenge_ZER, the letter O. And if you'd like to send us a message, you can email us at challengeratingzer, the letter O, at gmail.com. You can submit questions for our As the Dice Turn segment, and any questions we receive will be read on the show. If you would like to support us here at Challenge Rating 0, we do have a Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/challenge_ZER, the letter O, and donate to support the show if you like what we're doing here. If you do not have the means or the will to support us fungibly, I totally understand, but maybe share the show with a friend of yours. Maybe throw us some downloads instead of some streams. Give us a review on whatever podcatcher you are listening to our show on. All that stuff does a great deal to help us out in our quest to bring you the greatest show we possibly can. I have a new little thing to add to the credits here. Challenge Rating 0 is edited by Audius Prime, aka Matt Sims. If you have a project you need help with, sound design, original music, mixing, mastering, or help with your very own podcast, you can go to audiusprime.com, hit up my boy Matt, and he will hook you all the way the fuck up. Thank you so much for listening to Challenge Rating 0. We will see you all next time. Be good to each other out there. Bye.